Hi guys, today we're starting a new series, North Node in Sagittarius. I found the craziest shirt in my closet, so that would represent Sagittarian energy. So let's go. Before we dive into each house to see what we're working with here, let's talk about your South Node in Gemini. So you guys with the South Node in Gemini, you guys are my writers, you guys are my speakers, you guys are my communicators, my salespeople, my intellectuals, my why not philosophers, people who have mastered the art of communication in all its forms, written, oral, whatever communication there is. You get the idea. You guys are great at that. You guys, nobody can out-talk a Gemini South Node unless you have Gemini planets. So Gemini energy is great. Gemini energy loves variety. It's very curious. So you inside of you, there's this innate curiosity about everything. There's you want to know about everything, and you pride yourself on knowing a little bit about everything or a lot about everything. What else? You guys, there was a lot of lifetimes where there was a lot of thinking involved, a lot of decision, a lot of gathering information. You guys are my scribes. You guys are the people, in Game of Thrones, the guy that was every kingdom had a guy that kept track of everything, of all the history and everything. That's you guys, people that dealt with information, disseminating information, collecting information, passing it down in all kinds of forms. So you're great at that. Great salespeople, great, great storytellers, great jokesters. You guys are those, great humor, great sense of humor. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes because you guys have done that yourself in many lifetimes. So now, if we talk about the bad part, because since the Gemini is in the South Node, that means you guys kind of went to the extreme with these ideas of communication. So what do I mean by that? Gemini South Nodes, you guys are my con artists, you guys are my tricksters, you guys are my imposters, you guys are my used car salesmen, you guys are the ones that, propaganda, fake news, the yellow press, all those ideas where information was misused, it was disseminated in ways that was not honest. You guys are, let's just say it. You guys are very good at telling lies. You guys are very good at twisting the truth. You guys are, like I said, very good at, talking people into buying stuff they don't need. You're very good at manipulating people with information or withholding information. But basically, at the end of the day, and the crazy part is that you, part of you is afraid in a sense of getting tricked. Because you've done it yourself, you're very wary of people around you. And you're always kind of worried about somebody pulling the wool over your eyes. So you kind of don't really trust people that much because you're so scared that somebody's going to lie to you or somebody's going to, con you into something. So you're very cautious about that. But the beauty is that if you are attracting people like that in your life, they're here to show you parts of yourself because there is a con man inside of you. So once you accept that, then you won't attract people like that. What else? Gemini South Nodes, fun people that did a lot of thinking, did a lot of weighing, did a lot of logical. Your mind is very logical. Your mind is, Gemini can be light-hearted, but if it's in the South Node, it can also be a lot of thinking, a lot of mental, constantly the mind is racing. You can never relax. You're always thinking about this and thinking about that and thinking the worst and maybe expecting the worst. Your mind plays tricks on you because your mind is very powerful, always telling you stories. So now with North Node in Sagittarius, the beauty of it is that you need to get away from so much thinking and get into doing. Because Sagittarius doesn't think. Sagittarius just experiences. Sagittarius is the liver of life. Sagittarius doesn't hesitate. He just goes. If he needs to jump, he jumps. And then later he realizes maybe he shouldn't have done that. And that's the beauty of Sagittarian, is that he doesn't hesitate, you know. And you guys, with so many lifetimes of thinking, of always weighing options, of always collecting data, of always thinking, if I just had a little bit more information, I could make the right decision. And that always stopped you. It stopped you from living your life because you're always in your head. You guys are a lot of times in your head. There's a lot of tension in your head. And a lot of times I would say, because you're so active, because that mind's always spinning, sometimes you guys may resort to, you know, things like alcohol, drugs to kind of relax, to calm you down. Nothing wrong with that. You know, all the things that I mentioned, they're tools. They're tools to kind of help you out, because sometimes your mind is just drives you crazy. So with Sagittarius North Nodes, you guys are here to experience. You guys are here to shut your mind and just do what it is that you want to do, because your heart wants to experience. Your heart is done collecting information. Your heart is done thinking about it, pondering, analyzing. You guys love to analyze because you're so afraid to make a mistake. So with Sagittarius, you're just here to do it. You're here to experience it. You're here to find your own truth, because Gemini South Nodes, you guys have twisted the truth. You guys lied. You guys lied to a lot of people, you know, mass people in the form of propaganda or one-to-one relationships. You guys were my imposters that kind of told people what they wanted to hear. You know, the players, you know, romantically, you guys were like that. You know what to say to the other person to get them to do what you want them to do. You're brilliant at that, and you can literally, because you can talk so much about everything, you can literally drive the other person crazy, and they'll just say, okay, fuck it, I'll buy it, whatever, just stop. So yeah, God forbid the wrong person ends up in your hands. You know, you will, you do whatever you want with them, because you're good at manipulating people with your words. So yeah, with Sagittarian, it's going to be important to find your truth. Sagittarius is not a liar. Sagittarius is very honest, sometimes too honest, but that's going to be the most important thing for you in this lifetime, is to find that truth, your inner truth, not so much from here, but from here, and follow it and act on it and speak it, you know, but speak it honestly, even sarcastically, even if it's going to upset people, you know, because you're always used to kind of smoothing things over to benefit you or to benefit the situation. And so now you're here to not be that way. You're here to kind of say, this is what I think, and this is the truth, and I don't care if I lose all of you guys. I don't care if you guys, nobody likes me, but I don't care, because I'm alive like this. You're here to be alive, because Sagittarian is a perfect example of just being alive, being in the moment, and acting on your instincts, and acting on that drive, that fire that you have within you. All right, so now let's go through the houses and see exactly kind of ideas that we are that you'll be working with in this lifetime. Okay? Okay. North Node in Sagittarius in the 10th house. So first, let's go back to your South Node and talk about that. Gemini South Node in the 4th. What does that mean? So the way I see it is you spend a lot of lifetimes intertwined with your family, intertwined with your place of birth. But let's talk about family, you know, your home environment. So, but that environment, because it's Gemini South Node, was based on a lot of fickleness, superficiality, a lot of gossiping. You know, you were one of those families that would sit down for dinner and talk shit about everybody else, their friends, other families, whatever was going on in the world. There was a lot of information sharing, but it was a lot of useless information. So the good part about Gemini in the 4th is that you really are good at, you know, interacting with your family members. You know, you guys are, you knew everything about each other in a sense. You know how to get people to talk. You know how to, you know how to be probably best friends with your parents. You know, there was a very comfortable, friendly relationship with the parents. A lot of talking, a lot of exchange of ideas, a lot of laughter, jokes, all that stuff. So another idea with the 4th in Gemini is that you're very comfortable in your own world, in your own thoughts, in a sense. You know, your comfort zone is this, thinking within the 4 corners of your place. Like, you're very comfortable being at home, and then you probably had some crazy ideas of, like, maybe how to change the world, or like what needs to happen, or just maybe some topics, that some big world topics. So you're very comfortable being, like, what do we call it? the little ruler of the world, but doing it from his own little basement. That kind of idea, you know, where you had a lot of big ideas, a lot of thinking, a lot of information and stuff, but it was all done in the comfort of your home. You know, you never really implemented any of that. You know, you back home, you ruled the world, but as soon as you got out, you were like, you know, so very comfortable in your home zone, and there's a lot of information and thinking and planning and, you know, but it was all done in the privacy of your home. You know, like people that have a diary, and in that diary there's all kinds of crazy shit about them, but nobody got to saw that. Nobody got to see that. You never really shared your ideas on a ground level. You know, everything was like a, what do they call it, like a closet Napoleon or whatever, somebody who has so much to say, but yet doesn't make a freaking sound. He's so scared maybe to share, or maybe he's unsure, and he's only comfortable in his own little room, in his own basement, in his own little four corners. That's where he's the intellectual, that's where he's the deep thinker, that's where he's a teacher. But outside of that, he doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, he's scared. And part of it had to do with the support of your family. You know, your family supported you maybe in these endeavors, but it never got anywhere. You know, so it was a lot of like, you're the smartest one, you're so smart, you're so awesome, but it never went anywhere. You never really did anything. You know, it was all about, you know, you guys patting each other on your back, exchanging information, talking, a lot of talking, but not a lot of doing. So going back to the gossipy part is, you know, a family environment where a lot of talking shit about other people, the outside world, and also about each other. You know, let's say you're friends with your mom, but then behind her back, you're talking to dad about her. And that would be the cycle. You know, there isn't a lot of trust, there isn't a lot of truth with what you're used to in your family. There's a lot of gossipy and not really trust of each other, and always maybe like using one another, lying to one another, manipulating each other, those kind of ideas, you know, always playing tricks on each other, always looking for like a con family where the family is a con to the outside world, but also they're all con artists to each other. So it's a constant game of, can I trust you? Can I open my heart to you? You won't tell dad, and yeah, you can trust you, but there was never any trust, and more than likely there was never any depth to your conversation. There was a lot of talking around the dinner table, but it was useless. So with Sagittarius in the 10th, you're here to get out of the comfort zone of your home, get out of your basement, get out of your familiar environment where, you know, your mom believes in you and she knows how smart you are, but yet that's it. It stops beyond the door. You're here to be out there. You're here to be out there. I like that. So with Sag in the 10th, you're here to be larger than life on the world arena. You're here to be somebody who is very experiential, a crazy guy who breaks stereotypes, or girl, somebody who goes against the status quo, somebody who larger than life, like Iron Man, you know, like Robert Downey Jr. in that role of Iron Man, you know, that guy that is, he's so full of himself, he's so gregarious, but he's so much fun, you know, taking risks, you know, more than anything, just getting away from your family, getting away from that constant having to call your mom and be like, Mom, do you know what happened today? You know, needing that reassurance from your family, but it's all based on empty talk. Getting away from that, getting away from superficial relationships with your family, and getting out there and finding your truth. You know, Sagittarius North Nodes are going to be about finding your truth, finding what inspires you, what's your passion, and doing it larger than life, and doing it not shy, you know, not listening to your mind, you know, listening to your heart, because you have so many ideas that you want to explore, but you don't let yourself because you're afraid, or because you don't believe in yourself. You're here to believe in yourself. And as you become larger than life in whatever area, you know, it can be, you know, lots of traveling is encouraged, you know, getting out of your comfort zone, getting away from your family, getting away from the city you're born, going to a different country, traveling and exploring and engaging in everything, and, you know, maybe less talking, more experiencing. And then when you have experienced a lot of things, you can talk about them, and you can become that awesome teacher or blogger, or somebody who just says, guys, let me tell you about this, and you blow everybody away. And so that way you're not a closet philosopher anymore. You're actually living life, and people will listen to you, they will follow you, and your voice is here to be powerful, authentic, inspiring. You can inspire others to get away from their comfort zones. Because once you master your North Node, you can help others who have the same South Node as you to get out of that rut, to get out of their cycle. That's the beauty of it. But it's going to take work. You know, you kind of have to not answer the next time mom calls, or maybe just be honest with your parents and just say, guys, I don't want to do this anymore. Guys, I'm tired of all this meaningless gossip talk, you know. I'm leaving, and that's it. Pack your little bags and go. Be in the world. Be a citizen of the world. Don't worry about your roots. Don't worry about losing your home. You will never lose your home. Sagittarius is a gypsy. Sagittarius never worries about anything. He just goes out there and he has these chivalrous ideas like Don Quixote. You know, he's always got this idea of this ideal life and experience and adventure, and maybe saving a damsel in distress, and maybe doing something like that. Sagittarius is youthful at heart, you know. Like I said, he doesn't think, he acts. So be that way, guys. You know, do that, explore that, and light that fire within you, and burn your freaking diary, and stop with, you know, living in your head only, and get out there and live life, and you'll see how much fun you can have. You're literally encouraged to have so much fun. You know, Sagittarius North Nodes is just fun. Like, literally shut your mind and go have fun. Okay, so go have fun, guys. Don't hold back.